Wainfleet regular council meeting of February 10th, 2026 to order. Please stand for the national anthem. Okay, we would like to begin this meeting by acknowledging the land on which we gather is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe and the Haudenosaunee peoples, acknowledging the One Bowl and Spoon Treaty. Are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest? Seeing none, please note that the meeting proceedings are being broadcast live, recorded, and made available through the Township website and youtube.com. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge our roads crew. We have had a very small team working lots of extra hours to clear out our vast road network for the traveling public, so thank you very much for all your efforts. A quick shout out also to our rec team for their great ice in our arena. Excellent job once again. We have a special meeting of council Thursday, February 12th at 6 p.m. to consider the engineering reports for the Shafley and Culver drains, and then our next regular meeting of council is Tuesday, March 10th at 6:30 p.m. Are there any remarks from members of council? Councilor Anderson.
Thank you, through you, Mayor. Lindsay, this would be for you. I'm just wondering, is there an update when the two members of council that are working with the official plan people are going to start sort of sequential meetings?
Yes, thank you. And through you, Mr. Mayor, to the rest of council. To date, staff have really focused on early engagement, background work, and setting the foundation for the formal review process for the official plan update. And just to give you some background on what that means, is that there has been a public announcement provided through the insert in the municipal tax bills. And staff have also created a dedicated web page and email address to support information sharing and public inquiries related to the official plan update. The consultant has confirmed that they have completed the consolidation work, which included incorporating the previous official plan amendments into the consolidated document. A first public meeting is scheduled for April 14th council meeting. This meeting will serve as a formal kickoff for the official plan update process, and that will outline the scope of work, timelines, and opportunities for public engagement. In parallel, staff and the consultant have been meeting with key stakeholder groups, including the Region of Niagara, the NPCA, and local school boards. These discussions are helping to identify early issues, outline roles and responsibilities, and technical considerations. The consultant is also preparing to reach out to the home builder and development community to ensure their perspectives are included early in the process. As far as next steps, staff expect to receive and review the consultant's gap analysis of the existing policy framework by next week. So following that review, staff will meet with the council representatives and the consultants, and that's the time where we will discuss the findings of the gap analysis. We'll discuss topics, priorities, and areas of focus for the official plan policy work. So that's coming up very soon. Right now, the project is progressing as planned, and we're really focusing on early engagement and clear communication as we move the policy review phase is going to be next. You're welcome.
Are there any other remarks from any members of council? Councilor Gilmore, go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. Just to advise staff, I'll be away March 10.
Thank you, Councilor Gilmore. Oh, Councilor Anderson, go ahead.
Thank you, through you, Mayor. I'd just like to say kudos to all of the editors. in the departments that put together the insert for the taxes. I've had a couple of phone calls from residents. It's very well done and informative. So whatever, can't remember all the departments, but it's great effort, and the editorials that you did are very informative. So thank you very much.
Thank you. No other remarks? Okay. Then we're going to move into the adoption of the previous council minutes. So I have a motion that the minutes of the regular meeting of council held January 20th, 2026 be adopted as circulated. Can I have a mover and seconder? Councillor Wainfleet, Councillor Gilmore. Any discussion? Seeing none, call the question. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, and that is carried. Okay, so we have one public meeting this evening. So in accordance with the Planning Act, a public meeting is held to present information regarding the proposed amendment to the public and for council to receive comments from the public. Staff will not make a recommendation, and council will not make a decision on the proposed amendment at this evening's public meeting. A planning report will be brought forward by staff and considered by council at a later date. As a member of the public, you are welcome to request to be notified of any future meetings respecting the proposed amendment. Please provide your contact information on the sign-in sheet located at the back of council. And please be advised that the sign-in information will form part of the public record for this application. I'll now ask the planner to provide details on the purpose of the proposed amendment and any written comments received. Ms. Ivins?
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Mayor, to all of council. So the subject property is located on the south side of Lakeshore Road between Daly Ditch Road and Braun Road, and is known municipally as 12381 Lakeshore Road. So the subject property is designated as rural lands in the Niagara Official Plan, Lakeshore Residential in the Township Official Plan, and currently zoned Residential Lakeshore, RLS C15, under the Township zoning bylaw. So the zoning bylaw amendment proposes to rezone the subject property to a Residential Lakeshore RLS C15-48 zone, and that would be to permit an overall lot coverage of 32% and a maximum accessory building lot coverage of 13.5% to facilitate the construction of a detached garage. So the proposed site plan and building elevations are shown on the screen. In terms of some of the comments that we've received, so in accordance with the requirements of the Planning Act, a notice of public meeting was mailed to property owners within 120 meters of the subject property, and a public notice board was posted at the property. The application materials were posted on the township's website and circulated to agencies and departments for review and comment. Some of the comments that we have received include Enbridge Gas, who noted no objection, but they reserve the right to amend or remove development conditions. The building department noted no objections and that a detailed review of the plans will occur at the building permit stage. It was noted that a declaration of use, grading plan, and site plan showing the setbacks to the existing holding tank will be required as part of that building permit application. The bylaw department noted no concerns, and the drainage department noted that the subject property is not assessed to municipal drain, and as such there was no concerns. We did receive one written submission from a member of the public. So Patricia Mistel of 12375 Lakeshore Road offered her support for the proposed zoning bylaw amendment.
Thank you, Ms. Ivins. Does the applicant wish to provide any comments regarding their application?
Hey, good evening. Sarah kind of touched on all my points, but my name is Callum Gomez. I'm the development coordinator at Upper Canada Consultants, and I'm here on behalf of Michael and Kaylee Mistal to provide a summary of the proposed zoning amendment on the lands known as 12381 Lakeshore Road. As Sarah mentioned, the subject lands are located on the south side of Lakeshore Road between Daly Ditch Road and Braun Road. They currently contain detached dwellings. The lands are undersized compared to many of the surrounding parcels at an area of approximately 368 meters squared. Surrounding land uses include waterfront residential dwellings and cottages. The purpose of the zoning amendment is to rezone the lands from residential lakeshore RLS.C15 to site-specific residential lakeshore RLS.C15-48 to facilitate the construction of a detached garage. Site-specific provisions include a maximum overall lot coverage of 32% and a maximum lot coverage for an accessory building of 13.5%. proposed garage is a size of 9.14 meters by 5.38 meters resulting in an area of 49.2 square meters. The garage is 4.4 meters tall and features a slab-on-grade foundation. Due to the lot being an undersized lot of record with an area of under 4,000 meters squared, the resulting lot coverage percentage calculations are higher than similar structures on larger lots. However, the proposed garage is similar in size and scale with the structures on neighboring properties. Additionally, the proposed garage maintains all other provisions of the residential lakeshore zone with regard to height and setbacks. The zoning amendment allows for the use of the accessory structure on the lands without compromising the functionality of an existing undersized lot of record. And thank you for having me. I'm here to answer any questions.
Thank you. Does any member of council have any comments regarding the proposed amendment? No. Okay, thank you. Okay, is there anyone in the gallery that wishes to provide comment on the proposed amendment? Okay, seeing none. Seeing no further comments, I will now ask the planner to review next steps.
So a planning staff report regarding a complete review of the application will be brought forward by staff and considered at the next council meeting. And then I just have a note regarding appeal rights. So the Planning Act now states that the applicant, a specified person, a public body, the registered owner of the land to which the bylaw applies, and the minister may appeal the decision of council to the Ontario Land Tribunal, provided that they made oral submissions at a public meeting or written submissions to council before a decision is made. So parties other than those listed are no longer eligible to file appeals for this application.
Perfect. Thank you, Ms. Evans. So that concludes the public meeting for the proposed zoning bylaw amendment. If you wish to be notified of the decision of council regarding the proposed application, you must make a written request to the planning department. We have no registered delegations this evening. We do have 4 items on the consent agenda this evening. So those items are ASR 1 2026, respecting the 2025 Development Charge Reserve Fund Fund Statement. ASR 2 2026, respecting the 2025 Summary of Tax Adjustments. ASR 3 2026, respecting the 2025 Remuneration Report. And then BSR 1 2026, respecting the summary of 2025 building activity. Are there any items that council wishes to be removed from the consent agenda for discussion? Okay, seeing none, so then I have a motion that the following items be received and that the recommendations contained therein be approved and acted upon. Once again, ASR 1 2026, respecting the 2025 Development Charge Reserve Fund Statement. ASR 2 2026, respecting the 2025 Summary of Tax Adjustments. ASR 3 2026, respecting the 2025 Remuneration Report. BSR 1 2026, respecting the Summary of 2025 Building Activity. Can I have a mover and seconder? Councillor Anderson, thank you. Councillor Gilmore, any discussion? No? Seeing none, I'll call a question. All in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Okay, moving into staff reports and recommendations. We have bylaw enforcement staff report respecting the Clean Yards Bylaw 16-2021. Mr. Tardif, can you please provide a brief overview of your report?
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, to you and all of council. This is just a brief summary of the memo and the amending bylaw. Due to a recent Supreme Court of Canada ruling that found prohibitions regarding long grass in naturalized areas are a violation of the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms under the Freedom of Expression section. This decision affects all Ontario municipalities when it comes to enforcement of long grass in naturalized areas. This amendment addresses the freedom of expression while also maintaining community standards of lawn maintenance, essentially being a compromise for all residents. That's the component for the long grass, and the memo depicts what all those items are. There is also an administrative amendment to this bylaw, being that email has been added as a form of delivery service. By doing this, it will help reduce paper and registered mail costs. So thank you, and I'm happy to answer any questions if there are any.
Thank you, Mr. Tardif. So I have a motion that the memorandum respecting Clean Yards Bylaw number 16-2021 be received, and that the recommendations contained therein be approved and acted upon. Can I have a mover and seconder? Councillor Wainfleet, Councillor Anderson, and Thank you. Any discussion? Councillor Anderson, go ahead.
Thank you, through you, Mayor. Just a comment, actually. I'm wondering if, on the next insert in our tax bills, if your department would maybe possibly list all what are considered noxious weeds up to date, so that sort of, I don't think a lot of people think about it, but if they want to do sort of open gardening, it wouldn't hurt them to have that list. Just an FYI for people. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Anderson. Any other discussion? Seeing none, okay, then I'll call the question. All in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Okay, we're going to move on to DSR 2 2026, respecting the award of tender for the drain reconstruction on Ellsworth Drain. Mr. Jemison, can you please provide a brief overview of your report?
Great, thank you through you, Mr. Mayor, to all of council. So Drainage Staff Report 2 is in respect of the award of tender for the reconstruction of the Ellsworth Drain. RJ Burnside and Associates prepared the tender documents in compliance with the Township procurement policy. Closing of the tender, we received 4 bids, and as seen in the staff report, Burnside staff and Township staff recommend going with the low bid. I'm available for any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Jemison. So I have a motion that the Drainage Staff Report DSR 2 2026, respecting the award of tender for drain reconstruction on the Ellsworth Drain be received, and that council directs staff to award the tender for the reconstruction of Ellsworth Drain to Anthony's Excavating Central Incorporated. Can I have a mover and seconder? Councillor Gilmore and Councillor Anderson, thank you. Any discussion? Councillor Gilmore?
Thank you, Mayor. Mark, this appears to be really good news for us. The only concern that when I read it, I was wondering who, if anybody, missed the runway. Because if it wasn't Burnside and Anthony's, I'd say we have a problem. But since we work with both of them and trust them both, I mean, it's all good news. It's just perhaps this estimate was created in a different time and space than we're in now. Is that fair?
Yeah, through you, Mr. Mayor. So this is the first estimate that we've had from Burnside. So this is the first time they've done a construction project for us in the municipality. So I think their pricing may have been a little bit high, but it was developed last year as well. So about a year ago when we started taking the project through. The engineering firm and myself have spoken with and gone through the tender document and the bid that we received and are confident with what we have.
You know, I have no concern with Anthony's whatsoever. They do lots of work for us, but it's just when you look at all 4 of them and the estimate, nothing is merging. But at the end of the day, it's really good news for the township because we're paying 3/4 of that bill.
Any other discussion? Okay, seeing none, then I'll call the question. All in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Okay, moving on to Public Works staff reports. We are going to move to PWSR 4 2026, the award of tender for the 2026 road rehabilitation. Mr. Nan, can you please provide a brief overview of your report?
Thank you, Your Worship. Good evening to yourself and members of council. Yes, the report is regarding the award of tender for the road rehabilitation for 2026. Staff prepared a tender document, and according to the procurement policy of the township, we notified various contractors and associations that the advertisement was available. Upon closing on the 29th, we received 3 bids, and staff's recommendation is to go with the lowest bidder. I'm available for questions at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Nan. So I have a motion that report PWSR 4 2026, respecting the award of road rehabilitation tender be received, and that council direct the manager of operations to award the tender to the lowest bidder, Walker's Construction Limited, for $892,000, excluding HST. Can I have a mover and seconder? Councillor Gilmore and Councillor Anderson. Any discussion? Councillor Gilmore?
Thank you, Mayor. Richard, just roughly, what's the scope of work to be done on Perry Road, on the south end?
On the southern portion? Through your worship to Councillor Gilmore, we plan on actually using a milling machine, and we're actually going to mill down over 300 millimeter, put granular down, recompact it, as long as as well as a few drainage outlets, and then we're going to repave it. So essentially, it's a base repair on a strip that's going to be about 1 meter wide, and then a full base repair on that, and then re-asphalting after we compact granular.
Okay. And the other question in relation to that is the work on the Perry Road drain. Are we proposing to do that work on that section adjacent to the road on the road side, or is it all going to be on the field side right from, yeah, so it's not going to have any impact on this after the fact? Okay, good.
Through you, Mayor, to the councillor, the plan for the Perry Road drain is that all of the work will take place from the field side and not impact the road.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
My wife would say, use your words.
Okay, you two, enough. Councillor Anderson.
Thank you, through you, Mayor. Richard, I'm sure you and I are on the same page on this one. Just on the Lakeshore Road, when they did the tender on that, and because it's sort of home base for me, from the cement coming west back, that's a fall-apart road with a lot of chronicity. So when they bid this, like, they're aware of how that's kind of a pothole sanction out there?
Through your worship to Councillor, yes, they have driven the site. We did talk to them about that. We also have contingencies built into the tender for potential base repairs where required. Again, sometimes when you go and mill the surface, there's some defects that show up underneath. But again, we have a section in there for potential base repairs in that as well, and as well as a contingency portion that we allow ourselves in case something else pops up. As you know, it happens in the town periodically. So yes, they were aware of it, and we can still manage to do it within that budget.
All right, any other discussion? Okay, seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Okay, we're going to move to review of correspondence. We have one item of correspondence on the agenda for consideration this evening. Correspondence item C17, respecting the Integrity Commissioner Annual Report. Councillor Van Fleet, you're requested to pull this item. Do you wish to make a motion?
I do. There's no motion. I just wanted to thank my colleagues and our staff that we have 0 Integrity Commissioner reports, because if anybody's following anything else in the region, the province, or the country, it's a cluster muck out there. So I just wanted to thank everybody. And see, I didn't. Okay. What Mal said. Thanks.
Nice. I will agree. I do see it all over social media, and some of our neighbors are not doing so well at this. So congratulations to all of us for keeping it together. All right. With that, do I have to make a motion to receive for information or anything? Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Councillor Van Fleet. Okay. With that, then we're going to move to bylaws. So I have a motion that the following bylaws be read and passed this 10th day of February 2026. Bylaw number 4, 2026, being a bylaw to appoint a deputy clerk for the Corporation of the Township of Wainfleet. Bylaw number 5, 2026, a bylaw to amend bylaw number 16, 2021, being a bylaw for maintenance of yards in the Township of Wainfleet. Can I have a mover and seconder? Councillor Anderson, Councillor Van Fleet, any discussion? Seeing none, I will call the question. All in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Okay, are there any notices of motion this evening? Okay, seeing none. So with that, I have a motion that council now move into closed session to discuss an item under section 239(2)E of the Municipal Act 2001, litigation or potential litigation, including matters before administrative tribunals affecting the municipality or local board. One item, a potential litigation matter. And the second item under section 239(2)B of the Municipal Act 2001, personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees. One item involving a property matter. And then lastly, minutes of the closed meeting of council held January 20th, 2026. Can I have a mover and seconder? Councillor Gilmore and Councillor Anderson. Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Okay, thank you. So we'll move into closed.